Joining us in this hour is Byron Contreras. Byron is a port truck driver at Green Fleet Systems. Green Fleet is one of the companies that the workers are striking and on strike at the L.A. Long Beach port. More than a pleasure to have with us Byron Contreras. Byron, thank you for joining us this evening. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for having me on your...
Well, thank you for joining us. Byron, this is the fourth strike by the port workers, the port drivers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you are a port truck driver for Green Fleet. How many companies are drivers on strike from, in addition to Green Fleet? How many companies total?
There's 3 companies that are going on strike right now. TTSI, Pac-9, and Green Fleet Systems.
Now, Byron, how long have you been a port truck driver for Green Fleet?
I've been working for Green Fleet. I'm going to be 3 years next month.
3 years next month.
Yeah.
When you first started working for them, were you hired as an employee with sick time, health care benefits, and that type of thing?
I was when I was hired, I was offered to if I wanted to lease a truck, but I had a previously bad experience with leasing a truck, so I declined that, and instead I told them that I wanted to be an employee of the company.
Okay, and so they made you an employee of the company, correct?
Yes.
Now, when did that change? Are you one of those that's been misclassified and had your employee status changed?
No, not me, because I'm a company driver.
I see.
But I have some coworkers that are leasing a truck, and that the companies tell them that they're independent contractors when they're not.
Now, so Byron, people understand this. This is wild. Like, you're striking not for what you're going through, but what you see your fellow worker go through, right?
Exactly. At the end of the day, their fight is our fight, because when they misclassify lease drivers, these drivers, because they call them independent truck drivers when they're not. Like I was saying, they have all these illegal deductions out of the paychecks, and they basically these lease drivers are basically paying to the company to work for that company, and so 2 agencies of the government they already found these misclassified drivers guilty of. They already found that the company guilty of misclassifying these drivers because they're being illegally misclassified. I have 2 workers that got fired because they decided to take a stand and fight for their rights, and so now not only them, but I think over 150 drivers at Pac-9, which is another company that's going on strike right now. They were also found misclassified, so that they're not really like owner-operators, independent contractors, but they're employees. And so this has been going on for a long time, and it's time to put an end to this. And so that's what we're doing. Going out there, at the picket line, and this is my 4th strike, and it's hard. It's hard because we live by day, and we really don't know when we're gonna end this strike.
Yeah, absolutely. Byron, let me ask you something. I heard on the radio yesterday people in management from Green Fleet and some of these other companies that, those people who are misclassified, they actually like it. They don't want to be employees. Now, I would imagine you disagree with that. You're you work alongside these people. You're striking alongside these people, although you are not, like you said, you're all in this together. And although you personally are not being misclassified, could you explain to everyone listening what your fellow coworkers and drivers, port truck drivers at the LA and Long Beach ports feel and suffer with when they are misclassified?
Well, they're being misclassified because, like I was saying, these companies, they're deducting illegally a lot of the money from the paychecks. They're making them pay for maintenance for the trucks, and when they don't even own the trucks.
Now, wait a minute. They're making employees who don't even drive the trucks, or even if you're driving a truck, they make them pay for maintenance? That's absolutely ridiculous.
Exactly, because they don't own the truck. They're telling them that they're owner-operators where they don't actually own the truck. And they're making them pay for the maintenance of the truck. They're making them pay for the parking spot, where to park the trucks. And
so
then,
they're basically, let's talk, this is nothing but punishment and basically saying, okay, you want to form a union, we're going to really screw you.
Exactly. Well, ever since we started, organizing to become union, they have done nothing but to retaliate against us and to violate our right, because under the Constitution of this country, we have the legal right of forming a union if that's what we want to do. But the company is not respecting that. The company has come after us. They hired, at some point, they hired 5 different union busters to intimidate us and to harass us. And they're also telling some other coworkers to come after us and harass us and assault us, just because, we want to form our union. And so the company is like, they have broken nearly every labor law in order for them to keep the union out.
Does the labor board in Washington, or even somebody representing the labor board from Washington or in the state of California, get involved? Because this is a violation of law. This isn't just you guys, a bunch of employees whining about what their bosses are doing. These companies, such as the one you work for, are clearly in violation of the law.
Yes. Well, there's this person who's called, her name is Barbara. I forgot her last name, but she's in Sacramento. She agrees with us. She knows that these companies, they're just taking advantage of the situation. They've been taking advantage of the truck drivers for a long time. And so the deal with these companies is that they don't really like it, when people take a stand and decide to fight for their rights, And sometimes, people, they get scared because they don't have the right information about becoming a union member. So sometimes, because they don't have the right information, they get scared and then they get intimidated by the companies. Like I said, I've been out there at the picking line. This is my 4th time that I go on a strike, and at first, like anybody else, I was scared, but not anymore. Because once you get educated, once you know about your rights, and that you know that you have the power to fight for your rights, and you know that you're not doing it just for yourself, but you're doing it also for your families and for the other truck drivers, that are behind us, all the generations that are coming, and so we're setting a precedent with this. With these companies.
We're going to take a quick break, Byron, and we're going to be back with you in just a minute. I have more questions, and I want to talk more specifically when we come back about the intimidation tactics of some of these companies like Greenfleet Systems, the intimidation when, port drivers in L.A. and Long Beach, are just trying to unionize so that they can be treated properly and within the guidelines of the law. Byron Contreras is our guest, a port truck driver at Greenfleet Systems. That is one of the 3 companies on strike at the L.A. Long Beach port. I'm Leslie Marshall. Quick break after this. You want to join us? One more segment in this half hour. Pick up the phone if you have a question I think Byron can answer. 888-6-LESLIE, 888-653-7543. And follow me on Twitter to give us your tweets at Leslie Marshall to follow me there. We'll be back right after this.
Leslie Marshall. Real people, real life, real talk. Give her a call now at 888-6-LESLIE. Want to hear your conversation with Leslie after the show? Go to lesliemarshallshow.com/members.
We are back, so is he. Byron Contreras, port truck driver at Greenfleet Systems. This is one of the companies, one of 3, that is on strike at the Los Angeles Long Beach port. Byron, thank you for holding. Welcome back. I want to talk about some of the intimidation that you have witnessed for those who are trying to unionize. who are port drivers. Can you tell us about some of the intimidation in addition to the misclassification and people being charged for a parking space or for repair on these trucks?
Yes. Well, we've been intimidated like in different ways. Like the company it's always giving out flyers to bring discourage to our group. Because we're organizing to become a union. And not only that, but they are also telling these other drivers that don't want the union to come after us and to assault us. One of my coworkers was assaulted by one of these guys. They grabbed him by the neck, and then they were like saying bad words to him. And then also the company is like denying maintenance for our trucks, and they're giving the best equipment to the people that don't want the union. They also have the new employees. They're also making them sign an anti-union petition, which violates their rights right on the spot, because that's their right. That's, if they want to become union or not. The intimidation is like okay, well, they're always looking for a little opportunity for them to write us up for anything at all. They want to write us up, and they have drivers that don't want the union to check on us. They're filming us. They're taking pictures of us, and then they're videotaping us. So not only that, but they sometimes when the trucks that we drive since they're not being properly maintained, sometimes when they break down, they tell us to go home, and then when they fix the trucks, they don't give it back to the driver that is supporting the union, but instead of giving it to them, they give it to the guy that is an anti-union. So they're doing everything they can to stop us from doing what we're doing.
It just bothers me that in 2014 that this continues over and over and over. This is the fourth strike that's been initiated by the drivers. I know, Byron, you said it was your first strike. This strike has the backing of the Teamsters Union, an incredible organization that helps so many workers and stands in the gap between them and their employers to get them proper pay, to make sure things like this don't happen. And that's exactly why these companies like the one you work for don't want them involved, because they know that the Teamsters are going to mind the store and make sure that the owners treat these people with respect and within the guidelines of the law. This is the first of the four strikes that doesn't have a definitive end date. Previous strikes have lasted between 24 and 48 hours, and the drivers are now saying they're not going to return to work until their demands are met. Just your opinion, Byron. Should they have had no time frame, like 24 to 48 hours in the past? In other words, it shouldn't take four strikes to get your way, right?
Well, we really trust the Teamsters. We trust in the Teamsters because obviously they have a lot of experience. They've been in situations like this, I assume, and so we just they're the ones that are advising us on everything that we're doing, and so we're just listening to what they're saying, but we know that we're doing this. Most of all because for the respect and the dignity that every human being deserves,
Yep, absolutely.
And we know that I guess the Teamsters didn't know what kind of guy they were dealing with. This guy he's got some history. And then he's done a lot of bad things in the past, and so that's why he's so hard. He's being so hard. Ever since we started organizing, to become union, he said these words. He said, "You know what? I'm gonna do whatever is in my power, to stop this nonsense. I'm never gonna accept to work with a union." And so, by saying those words, he was basically saying that it wasn't gonna be easy for us to work as a union. So we kind of knew, what was coming to us, but. My coworkers and I were very brave. We took the courage to go on a strike and to fight for our rights, and we're not going to stop until we win because we don't have we don't have another choice.